This is the new DJI Avata 360, a really cool 360-degree drone from DJI. You may have seen our full review on this drone, and many people have been asking, how do you actually edit the footage coming from this drone? Because yeah, it is a little bit more tricky than using a drone with just a single lens. You get a whole 360-degree sphere of footage. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the settings I use on this drone, and I'm going to load up the DJI Studio as well as Final Cut Pro to show you a couple of ways of how you can edit the footage and get the best quality footage coming from this camera, because it really is special, this camera. It really means that you can fly it once, you get every single angle, and there's a little bit more of a learning curve to it, but I really think it's worth sitting down with me for 5-10 minutes and I'll show you how to do it. So let's jump into the Mac and I'll show you how to edit this footage. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is show you a couple of settings that you should change for your drone to get the best image quality coming out of the Avata 360. Now, I've got the RC2 controller here. You can, of course, do this on the iPhone as well if you're connecting via the standard controller and your iPhone or Android device. So let's go into the menu and I'll show you what settings that I change to get the best image quality so you can kind of match what I'm getting from my camera. Okay, so just a couple of quick settings. First of all, I would just tap down the bottom here and just make sure that you're not recording in 6K, you're recording in 8K and you're recording at 50 frames a second. Now you can, of course, record in 25 or anything else that you want, but with this 360 drone, I think it sometimes looks really good when you can slow the footage down. Recording at 8K 50 is going to enable you to do that. 8K is, of course, the highest resolution that you can get on this camera, and that's what you'll want, because when you scale down, you're not getting the full 8K, you're scaling down to roughly 1080p. Okay, so now we have dialed in those simple settings. You can go out and fly however you like. The great thing about this drone is that it's quite hard to film wrong because of what we're going to do in the edit in a moment. But if you want a tutorial on flying, on framing, on how to get the best shots when you're filming, let me know in the comment section below and I'll do that video. It is an up and coming series. But for now, just go out, get your shots, come back into the edit, and I'll show you what we do in there to reframe and get some nice, smooth looking shots from the Avata 360. So let's get onto the Mac. So what I would recommend first of all is make sure that you download any footage to an external hard drive. This just makes it a lot smoother to run when you're working with Final Cut Pro, Premiere, or the DJI Studio. So I've got a few clips here. Now, let's just take this shot. I've got a couple of shots here of like just driving through Cornwall. I really like the shot here. So when you preview a shot, you can see, you can sort of look through your footage. You can also just click one and then change the angle. So you can see exactly what you got here, which is what I like. But this is where people get a little bit lost, I think, with 360 footage. So let's first of all bring the clip in and I'll guide you through a little of what you can do with footage. So first of all, what you may find is the camera view sometimes may be on a direction lock like this, where you'll play the footage through and you think, oh, this looks kind of a little odd, maybe too wide, a bit strange, not how you filmed it. What I would recommend first doing is changing to the camera view. Now this will make the footage look like the way you framed it within your remote control. So if I press play here, you can see that as we go through this footage, just move it on a bit, you can see this is how it looked as I filmed the footage. Now why this is good is this means if you want to use your Avata 360 a bit like a single lens regular drone, you can just color grade this and export it and you've got that clip. But why I love the Avata 360 is that you can apply some really cool effects that you just can't do with any other drone. So first of all, on the side here, let me just quickly show you this. You've got your different kind of framing. So you've got your asteroid effect if you want to do that. So I'm just going to put that into free view. You've got your asteroid that you can see there. So you've got these kind of different effects. You've got your ultra wide, your wide, and your D-warp, which is the one that I tend to use. So it looks less warped and more realistic. But of course, you can change any of these and you can keyframe this stuff as well. So if you want to zoom in at a certain point, if you want to correct the angle, you can do that. It's actually sometimes quite cool to have a super wide angle shot like that. So play around with that and see what you think. You've also got intelligent tracking as well. So for example, if I knew I wanted to track the car, it's detected that. I can do that. I can track the car, and we know that's the subject you're tracking. So you don't have to track something as you're filming. You can do it in post, and I'll show you that in a bit more detail in a little while. Just going to click on this clip again. So we are going to go back to the camera view. We're going to go back to dewarp. On the right, top right here, you've got the image. So you can change it to an FPV mode if you want. This will make the camera float around a little bit more. So if you are trying to look like you're using an FPV camera, you can see it adjusting there. Now the preview is not quite smooth as the exported video. That's how you get FPV mode. I'm going to turn that off. I recommend having the high precision smart stitching on, dewarp on, and then adjust. And you've got color recovery as well. So you can do a color recovery straight there. I recommend though using some LUTs. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So what I recommend is coming over here to filter and then going to LUTs. Now you've got a load of LUTs here that, in my opinion, you've just got way too many to go through, and not all of them look good or seem to do all that much. So let's just add that filter there. Doesn't look that great, that LUT. So what I would recommend, and this is a shameless plug, is check out the Editor's Keys LUTs. I'll put a link in the description below, but you can see these are LUTs that we've made specifically for the D-Log-M picture profile, which includes the Avata 360. So I'm just going to cycle through these without making any adjustments, and you can see what this looks like. So this is the turquoise. This is the OT. This is the one-click fix. The one-click fix is what it sounds like. This is the LUT to put on if you just want your footage to look good and you don't want to give it an over-stylized look. Got nature, which I really like, latte, fallout, harvest, holiday, haze, and city pop. So let's just say that the turquoise one was, or maybe that one there, the OT cube, you like this one. So we're going to click the plus icon. That's going to add it to this clip here. And you can see straight out of camera, that looks actually really, really nice. But you can come up to the top here, just make sure you've got this selected. And you can change the intensity. So you can bring that down like this, or you can bring it all the way up to the top. So you can play around with this. And then if you think, oh, okay, maybe I need to bring the brightness up, you can still go to image up here, oh sorry, adjust, and click adjust up here. And you can still change the exposure like that. So that's pretty good. If you're finding that it's looking a bit underexposed, or you want to adjust the saturation, make it less saturated, more saturated, you can do that. But that's using the Editor's Keys LUT. I'll put a link in the description below. So I'm quite happy with that, pretty much just straight out of camera, how that looks. But the next thing I want to show you, and this is why I love the 360 footage here, is we've got this clip here where the car just drives off, and yeah, you could use this. It's not a bad looking shot. It's just not that exciting. So what you can do is come over here to camera movements, and you've got tons of different camera movements that you can use. So let me just pop this one on here, in and out. It does this little effect here where it kind of gives you that zoom in and out effect. Really, really cool. Maybe a bit too much for my video. I just want a nice reveal. So one that I like here is this tilt down effect here. So as we're driving now, what it's going to do is position the camera up to the sky and then pull down. So let's have a look at that. So it would start from there. When you start your clip, imagine we're coming down, we're revealing the car driving, boom, and we're into that opening shot here, pulling up to this old Cornish mine. So I really like that. Now, if you also want to do your own one, you can. So we can add keyframes. We can just click on a clip. We can go to the video. We can change this to free view, dewarp, and then let's say, for example, we wanted to see the sea here. We can then start adding keyframes, manual framing, and then I can move it there again. I can change it there, add another keyframe, and this is how you go through and do it. So you can see, imagine you add tons of keyframes. Rather than going forward, if I play this through now, as we get to this section here, it's going to keep that locked on like this. So we now have the car in the lower third of the screen, and then we're seeing more of that view. Of course, this is 360, so you can do whatever you want. You could have this flying down just like that. So the car, if I remove these keyframes, you could essentially have the, let's zoom in a bit there. We could have it so it's just the car peeking out of the top. We can have it so it's a shot of the road. So you've got another, let me just zoom out a little bit there. So you've got these like extra cutaways. So let me go back to these clips here, and this is what I like. So if we've got a shot here, let's just see, of St. Ives here. I'm just gonna do this shot. Now, when I filmed this, just gonna put this on D-Warp. When I filmed this, of course, I was going towards man's head here because I wanted to get a shot of this little rocky outcrop here. Let me just put a LUT on this as well. So I'm gonna go back to filter, LUT. I'm just gonna choose and edit keys of that LUT. I think it looks really nice. Let's start with that city pop one actually. Pop that on. I'm just gonna bring the intensity down a little bit to blend it. There we go. And so we've now got this really nice shot here, look, going above the water, going towards man's head. But, you know, you've come back from your holiday, your trip, and you're thinking, damn, I didn't get any shots of the rocks facing down. Well, you know what? You can. We're going to change it back to the free view or direction lock as well. You can keep it on there. And we're just going to keep it there. We're going to go on D-Warp. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Now look at this beautiful shot we've got. We've got a shot going over the rocks, which completely changes this footage completely. You can't do this with any other DJI drone at the moment. Imagine just having this. And then let's think again. Okay, I've got that shot here of going towards man's head, but actually I want a shot of the beach. I want a nice reversing shot of the beach as a separate shot. So let me just play that. Okay, we've got surfers there. Now we've got this kind of revealing shot of the entire beachscape there. And this is what I love about the Avata 360. You get every single shot that you could ever imagine from just one shot. You don't have to overthink your shots. Look at that. And now you can export. So to export here, all you simply do is go to export. You can change your frame rate. This was shot at 50 frames a second. I recommend keeping it in 10-bit color, then you can adjust it more in Premiere or Final Cut Pro. So that's how you do it within the DJI Studio. Okay, so now let's talk about Final Cut Pro. So in Final Cut Pro, you can edit 360 footage, but at the moment, there is no plugin from DJI to edit the 360 footage directly within Final Cut Pro. I hope it's coming soon because there is a Premiere one available. But what you can do is do what I did, edit the footage, get it looking right, and then what I would recommend doing is export the clips that you want in 10-bit, leave off the LUTs, and then apply them within Final Cut, because then you have a little bit more wiggle room. So I would just then export your clips, and then you're able to edit them there. So I can, you know, pull in like we normally would. I can play from here. They're 10-bit, so you can fully color grade them. So like this clip here, where we do the reveal from about there, what I would do is chop that clip about there, blade that in. And then we've got a clip here, just bring it in a little bit. We've got that clip here that we want for our final edit. And then what you can do is, of course, bring in your LUTs. So if we bring in some custom LUTs there. So let's now apply a LUT. So I've got the DJI D-Log M LUTs. I've got the city pop there that I like. I think that's really nice. You can see here I've got it on 63%. Again, you can bring it down or bring it all the way up. It actually looks really nice all the way up. Let's just see that. And then you've kind of got your clips then as we cut from one to the other. Just wait for this clip to play. As you can see, it's a lot smoother now. We've exported this into Final Cut Pro. You've still got that 10-bit footage and you get great looking videos just like this. Now, I'll keep you updated on the channel when DJI release a plugin specifically for Final Cut Pro, but this is my workflow. Edit the clips, direction, the framing within the DJI Studio. Export it without any LUTs on, unless you want to put it straight onto socials, or you want to edit the clips directly within the studio, which you can do. You can edit the whole video in there. But what I like to do is bring the clips on, leave them at 10-bit, bring them into Final Cut Pro to really tweak them, because I prefer editing in Final Cut Pro. Now, what you can also do as well is you can use the DJI Mimo app. You can import LUTs into that. You can edit the footage and edit just like I've shown you in the DJI Studio app. So give that a look. If you want to see more on the DJI Mimo app, let me know, because I can do a full video on that. So there we go. I hope this video has helped you. Let me know in the comments section below if you learned something new today. If you've got any more questions or comments about this drone, let me know, because I'm sure we'll do some more follow-up videos on this, including more detailed color grading videos for the Avata 360. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.